improve your overall credit profile. Okay? All right, keep watching.
And another woman that can take your spotlight. If I wrote you a symphony, just to say how much you mean to me, what would you do? If I told you you were beautiful, would you think?
Guys, be patient with yourself on this journey. Nothing about credit repairing or rebuilding of that is easy. It's not going to be fast. It's not an overnight process. It's not a one letter thing. You send this one letter and poof, all of your credit problems go away. It does not work like that. You need to be patient with yourself on this journey, because there are some times where you send dispute letters that you can purchase at achievingcreditexcellence.com, link in the description box. And the derogatory item is not going to be removed. The personal information is not going to be removed. Like, there are going to be times where you're going to get extremely frustrated with this process, but I need you to be patient with yourself. Life is hard with bad credit. It's harder with bad credit. You still can get things, but it's just harder when your credit is bad. So you don't need to be adding more stress on yourself or making things more complicated by being hard on yourself. Be patient with yourself, okay? You probably don't want to hear that shit, but I'm telling you anyway. Patience. Number 2, do not ignore collection letters. Typically, this is how it goes when you get a collection letter. What the is this? I just got $2 extra in my back pocket, and now ABC Medical Collections, like, you know what? I ain't got time for this shit. You throw it away. We're not looking at the letters, and we're not looking at the bottom of the letter and it says you only have 30 days to respond, or we're gonna assume this debt is valid, send it to the credit bureaus, and now it's reporting. We're not looking at none of that. We see this say $300, even if it say $40. It's just the fact that, wow, bruh. Like, literally, have you guys ever noticed the moment that you literally are about to start focusing on something else, a debt pops up, a letter comes in the mail. Something always happens, like every single time. Like, I'm not going to speak that. I rebuke that. We rebuke that energy. Send that out. We rebuke that energy. But I'm just saying, like, have you guys ever noticed that the moment that you just be like, a damn collection pop up, something. But oftentimes it's because we're ignoring those letters. Sometimes we do get alerted before the collection agency reports to the bureaus. Sometimes we moved and we haven't updated the company that we moved, so those letters go to our old address, and then we find out that we have a collection when we check our credit reports or when we're applying for something, and it's like, you have a collection on your credit report. You're like, no, I don't. And then you go look, and then ABC Medical Collections is there. And you like, damn it, I never got anything, but you did. You moved. You didn't update your address, or you did and you threw the letter away, or you did, they called and you hung up on them, or you told them that it wasn't you. And so they stopped calling you, and you never told them to forward all mail to XYZ if they believe this debt is yours. You never said anything like that on the phone, so they just assumed the debt was yours. Or they thought that the person they were talking to was not you, so they disconnected the call. They no longer contacted this number no more. They went ahead and sent the debt to the credit bureaus. And so now you have this debt on your collection. On your credit report. So whenever you get collection letters, do not ignore them. Respond by sending a debt validation letter, okay? Lock your credit reports when you are not actively applying for new credit. This will help you so much in the long run with preventing identity theft, because that shit is real. If your profiles are locked, then you lower the risk, lower the chances of someone stealing your identity, because some of us often, we still make mistakes. We click on links we ain't got no business. We fall for the scams when they call us on the phone, especially during the holidays. Around this time is when a lot of things start picking up. People start calling you, pretending to be people. You give them your number or your card numbers over the phone, or they pretend to be your credit card company, or they tell you your card was lost or something like that. I had something similar happen to me last year. Lock your credit profiles to prevent identity theft if you're not actively applying for new credit. But also remember, when you do begin to actively apply again, to unlock your credit reports temporarily and then lock them back when you're done. Focus on getting a few credit cards, each different from the other, building a relationship with the bank, and work on increasing those limits instead of applying for every single credit card offer you get, okay? If these people send you letters in the mail, trying to just prey on you, just hoping that, you'll accept this offer, these high ass interest cards. You don't have to apply for every single card, but I do recommend applying for cards that are different from the other, each having different benefits, different perks, different rewards, different things like that. Maybe a travel card, a hotel card, a restaurant card, a card for gas. Did I already say hotel card? A secured card. Just different cards. Airline cards, if I didn't say that already. But just having different cards instead of just applying for several of the same type of card. You don't need millions of credit cards to build your credit profile. You need a few credit cards, build relationships with these banks, and then after you've established good relationships with them, then go in for, applying for higher limits. Or if they're seeing that you're using the card responsibly, they will even offer you or just go ahead and give you a higher limit on that credit card. That's what you want to do. You want to build longer relationships with these banks and then get credit limit increases with these particular cards that you have. So do that. Change your due dates to when you typically have funds available. Now, you know that you can go in and alter your due dates. You can call the customer service and say, hey, this date isn't working for me anymore. I get paid around such and such, so I would prefer to have my due date around this time, opposed to having all your due dates kind of back to back. And don't forget that even though you have bills, we still live life. We still want to go have fun because life is for living, and not necessarily only for bill paying, okay? We need to live and have fun, you know what I mean? It's part of life. So you want to give yourself time to make money, pay your bills, but then have a period of time where you can enjoy yourself, treat yourself to a new pair of shoes, treat yourself to some ice cream, treat yourself to a lunch date or a trip, you know what I'm saying? I'm just spitting, but it's just me in here. Shh, that's Lysol. So anyways, payment history takes up at least 30-35% of your credit score. You need to make sure that you are not missing payments, okay? If you can, by all means, please contact the company beforehand if something has come up and you need to get a deferment or an extension, depending on what type of account or loan or whatever it is, determines the verbiage that you would use. But if you have to push back a date or anything, please contact these companies in advance. Do everything you can to avoid getting a missed payment. Communication. Don't pay off loans early while you're actively rebuilding your credit, because you need these payments to be reporting monthly. You need that. You need that payment history. So I know it's tempting. Sometimes we'll have the funds and be like, look, we just want to go ahead and pay it off. If anything, maybe pay the account maybe 90%, 80% off. But don't pay it completely off, especially when you're in the rebuilding stage. I know you got the money. If it's bothering you that much where you feel like you're going to be tempted to spend it somewhere else, can you just put the money up somewhere else, like put it in its own account and set auto pay up and just forget about it if it's bothering you that much? But those funds need to be set aside. You need that payment history. Do not pay the big chunk. Don't pay it up, especially when you're trying to rebuild your profile. You need to show these lenders, especially if you're going to be applying for a home or doing something soon, maybe a car or whatever. They need to see that you know how to make payments each month on time. The rebuilding process is a tedious process. It's a long process, but it will pay off in the end. And sometimes making a large lump sum payment or paying off the account completely is not as beneficial to you as you think. Just put that money aside or in a different account or something. Have it set up to auto pay so you don't miss no payments, but just forget about that money. Put Netflix or Amazon or some sort of subscription on your oldest credit cards to keep them from closing. So whatever you do, do not let your oldest credit card close. I know sometimes we got a credit card from 20 years ago, 10 years ago. We don't use that. That's not good because accounts can close due to inactivity. So at least put Netflix, the cheapest membership, or something cheap, something that would be, maybe $8 to $10, something like that. Amazon, Netflix, somebody put it on there. Okay, but whatever, do it. Just put one subscription, something on your oldest credit cards to keep them from closing. At least pay $10 to $15 more than your minimum payment. Okay, that's it.
Because I can see us holding hands, walking on the beach, our toes in the sand. I can see us on the countryside, sitting on the grasslands.